Hello and welcome to BlockByte. Today I thought we could have a little look at the Bible. Yes, I am Christian. Today we're going to be starting a series. I'm going to be going through the entire Bible in the next couple of videos, maybe the next couple of years. And today we're going to start obviously at the beginning. We'll start obviously at the beginning, and of course I'm going to be explaining it and not just reading it. So where we're going to start is we're going to start with Genesis, the beginning. So I'm going to read Genesis 1 and I'm going to go over explain. This might be quite a long video, but who knows, hopefully, because obviously the Bible shouldn't be simple. Anyway, the beginning. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth didn't have any shape, and it was empty. There was darkness over the surface of the waves. At that time, the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good. He separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and he called the darkness night. There was evening and there was morning. It was day 1. God said, "Let there be a huge space between the waters. Let it separate water from water." That's exactly what happened. God made that huge space between the waters. He separated the water from under the space from above the water above it. God called the huge space sky. There was evening and there was morning, and it was day 2. God said, "Let there be water under the sky, be gathered into one place. Let dry ground appear," and that's exactly what happened. God called the dry ground land. He called all the water that was gathered together seas, and God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the land produce plants. Let them produce their own seeds, and let there be fruit. And let there be trees on the land that grow fruit with seeds in it. Let each kind of plant or tree have its own kind of seeds." That's exactly what happened. So the land produced plants. Each kind of plant had its own kind of seeds. And the land produced trees that grew fruit with seeds in it. Each kind of tree had its own kind of seeds. God saw that it was good. There was evening and there was morning, and it was day 3. God said, "Let there be lights in the huge space of sky. Let them separate the day from the night. Let the lights set the times for the holy celebrations, and the days and the years. Let them be lights in the huge space of sky to give light on the earth." And that's exactly what happened. God made 2 great lights. He made the larger lights of all over the day, and the smaller lights of all over the night. He also made the stars. God put the lights in the huge space of sky to give light on the earth. He put them there to rule over the day and the night. He put them there to separate the light from the darkness. God saw it was good. There was evening and there was morning, and it was day 4. God said, "Let the seas be filled with living things. Let birds fly above the earth across the huge space of sky." So God created the great sea creatures. He created every kind of living thing that fills the seas and moves about in them. He created every kind of bird that flies, and God saw that it was good. God blessed them. He said, "Have little ones so that there will be many of you. Fill the water in the seas. Let there be more and more birds on the earth." There was evening and it was morning. It was day 5. God said, "Let the land produce every kind of living creature Let there be livestock and creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals. That's exactly what happened. God made every kind of wild animal. He made every kind of livestock. He made every kind of creature that moves along the ground. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make human beings so that they are like us. Let them rule over the fish in the seas and the birds in the sky. Let them rule over the livestock and all the wild animals. And let them rule over the creatures that move along the ground." So God created human beings in his own likeness. He created them to be like them himself. He created them to be as male and female. God blessed them. He said to them, "Have children so that there will be many of you. Fill the earth and bring it under your control. Rule over the fish in the seas and the birds in the sky. Rule over every living creature that moves along the ground." Then God said, "I am giving you every plant on the face of the whole earth that produces its own trees, produces its own seeds. I am giving you every tree that has fruit with seeds in it. All of them will be given to you for food. I am giving you every green plant as food for all the land animals and for all the birds in the sky. I am also giving the plants to all the creatures that move along the ground. I am giving them to every living thing that breathes." And that's exactly what happened. God saw everything he had made, and it was good. There was evening and there was morning. It was day 6. That's Genesis 1. That's Genesis chapter 1. So, it says in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth didn't have any shape. So, basically, how you see the earth today as a sphere, or when you're in space it's a sphere, that wasn't the case back then. There was no shape for the earth. It was not a sphere, it was not any kind of shape. And it was also empty. There was waves, of course, but there was no light over it. There was darkness over it. But at that time, the Spirit of God was hovering over it. So basically, God was watching over the earth before it had even been created. That just shows that God is eternal, and God isn't a being. Well, God is a being, but he's not a human being. He's some type of angel. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So, that famous phrase, "let there be light," originated from the Bible right here. Let there be light. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So, even though there was no sun, or stars, or anything, God himself is light. So, let there be light, and there was light. So, God lit up the earth as himself, without any sun, without any artificial light like light bulbs, without any of that. He separated the light from the darkness. So you know how we have day and night. In the day you have approximately 12 hours of light and then approximately 12 hours of darkness. God separated them so they were not mixed up. So they weren't mixed up, and then he called the darkness night and he called the light day. There was evening and there was morning, so it was day 1. So that basically represents Monday, or if you believe in another way of saying the first day, Sunday. Some people believe that Sunday is the first day, but hey ho. Represents Monday or Sunday. And then God said, "Let there be a huge space between the waters. Let it separate water from water." And that's exactly what happened. God made a huge space between the waters. He separated the water under the space from the water above it. God calls the huge space sky. So God basically separated the water, like the sea, from before the sea was created. The whole earth was water. So he separated the whole earth from the sky. So basically, water, emptiness, sky. Basically. Then there was day 2, so either Monday or Tuesday. God said, let the water under the sky be gathered into one place. Let dry ground appear. And that's exactly what happened. So, at that point is when the earth, like dry land, was created. And at that point, there's now seas. They wouldn't be what we think of seas now, because what we think of seas now, we have them named. Probably wouldn't have been named like Pacific and Atlantic back then. I think it probably just would have been like lots of sea, like connected. It would just be called sea or ocean. Not Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, or sea, stuff like that. Probably wouldn't have that. Then God said, let the land produce plants. So when he said that, he started to create like apple trees, regular trees, bushes, and forests. That is when he started to create forests and stuff. So when you go on a nice wooden walk, remember that was created on day 3 of God's creation. There's trees on the land that grow with fruit with seeds in it. So that is when like apples and stuff like that was created as well. God said, let there be lights in the huge space of sky. So that is when he started to create the sun, the moon, and the stars. So he said, let there be lights in the huge space of sky. And then it says, let them separate the day from the night. So obviously the moon isn't a light itself; it reflects off the sun, but it does shine down light so that we can see if we need to in the night, but it's not too bright that we can't sleep. And obviously the sun is made so that we don't sleep through it, because most people, unless you're like a doctor and you work on night shifts and you have to sleep in the daytime, you wouldn't sleep through with the sun, would you? The sun would be up and you would be, well, not up. Like, if you're in the summer and then the sun's up at 5 o'clock, I don't recommend that. Anyway, continue. God made 2 great lights. He made the larger light to rule over the day, the sun, and a smaller light to rule over the night. That's either the stars or the moon. I'm not quite sure. God said, let the seas be filled with living things. This is after day 4. God said, let the seas be filled with living things. So this is when God started to create the fish, the sharks, the seahorses, and this is also when he started to create birds. Let birds fly above the earth across a huge space of sky. This is a point where God did create birds, so he created birds, yeah. I'm not sure if they were called stuff like magpie or blackbird or stuff like that back then. I'm not too sure. I wasn't there. And then Genesis 1 chapter 1 verse 24 says, God said, let the land produce every kind of living creature. Let there be livestock and creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals. And that's exactly what happened. So this is when he started to create, like, donkeys, I don't know what I said, donkeys, horses, and cows and stuff like that, elephants. He started to create them now, just so they were there when Adam and Eve came along, which we'll go into another video. And then verse 26, then God said, let us make human beings so that they are like us. This is when he started to create Adam and Eve. Not when he started to create Adam and Eve, but that's the idea of making Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve is the next chapter. So God created human beings in his own likeness. He started to create beings, obviously, human beings. As Christians, we don't believe in evolution, but we have no physical proof so that they look like we do now. But we don't believe in evolution. Those are cool. And God said, I am giving you every plant on the face of the whole earth that produce its own seeds. I am giving you every tree that has fruit with seeds in it. All of them will be given to you for food. He is talking to the human beings, and he is giving them all of the fruit on the trees, and all the trees, to be honest. Everything on the whole earth will be the humans' belongings, sort of. God saw everything he had made, and it was good. There was evening, and there was morning, and it was day 6. So at this point, God had finished. No, not finished. I'm going to go into chapter 2 of it, because the beginning ends in chapter 2. It's only 2 verses. So then it says, so the heavens and the earth and everything in them were completed. By the 7th day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on that day, he rested from all his work. God blessed the 7th day and made it holy. He blessed it so that on that day he rested from all the work he had done. So when most Christians, or everyone pretty much who is holy, goes to church on Sunday. Like if they go to church on Sunday. And that is the 7th day. That is when it is the day of rest. It is the holy day. And this is where God was finished. He was done with the work he had done. It was over 7 days, although we have no proof to say that those 7 days were as long as our days are. They could have been like weeks or months, those days. But who knows? Anyway, I am done. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. It really convinced me to actually continue these sort of things. I'm hoping to be back to you next week with Adam and Eve, the story of Adam and Eve, and then we should be getting going with our Bible reading. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.